are very important. And since his arrival on the national stage, seeking to become a national leader, obviously it is important that that the government is seen to be taking him seriously. But let me say that the Right Honorable Mpuuga has arrived, but these issues had arrived before him.
For a minister to come here and does not answer directly the question you have asked, and simply veers into banter, is a problem. And then it disappears. And when we rise on procedural matter to put him correctly to answer the questions, Mr. Speaker, undermines our role of representation. I want to be on record that Honorable did not answer anything.
Mr. Speaker, yesterday,
you know, colleagues, I've been extremely generous until when, and even I was ready, by the way, to tolerate a little abuse of procedure. But then it has gone beyond. It has really gone beyond. We can handle anyone who wants to speak from any aspect procedure. And I want to inform you, colleagues, I have the power to grant procedure or not to grant it. It's not mandatory. So when I say no, please know I've said no. Okay? So let's proceed under Rule 8.
Mr.
Procedure not provided for.
Mr. Speaker, yesterday when the chair of budget assigned another member to present a report, the Honorable Ekanya raised the issues of our record. That when you call the chair budget and someone else stands, at least the record must be corrected that the person standing is doing so on behalf of another person. You called the Minister for Finance. A junior minister stood up. He did not say that he has been assigned by the Minister of Finance to do the work. The record will have Minister of Finance, the Honorable Mathias, yet it is one of his juniors who has come to represent him. I am only concerned because they answered here, people do use it for many reasons, including academic. So the reason I stated the Rule 8, it is not provided explicitly anywhere that people must introduce themselves properly when they are assigned by their superiors. That's what I was drawing to your attention, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable colleagues, we received a rota from the government, from the Read of Government Business, which shows a day which minister should be here, representing a ministry. Okay? Not representing a senior minister, but representing a ministry. And we take record of that. I don't think it's problematic in any way in terms of us capturing the record. I will cross-check with the clerk. We see if we find it problematic, then we can always insist. But it's a ministry. Okay? It's a ministry. Yes.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I rise to raise a procedural matter under Rule 72, Sub-Rule 2. And with your permission, let me read it verbatim. The conduct of the Speaker, members, the Chief Justice, and judges of the Courts of Judicature shall not be raised except upon a substantive motion and in any amendment, question to a member, or remarks in a debate on a motion dealing with any other subject. Any reference to the conduct of persons mentioned is out of order. Right Honourable Speaker, I was in this House when my land brother, the Minister of Justice, was making presentations, and he made mention of your conduct in respect of the Honourable Semuju, that you are in some unknown cooperation. He also made mention of the fact that the members of this House are engaged in drama. He accused us collectively of engaging in drama. He also accused us collectively of misinforming the country. Right Honorable Speaker, his last remarks were about the Right Honorable Mpuuga, and he made mention of the fact that he had arrived and was seeking perhaps recognition. All these issues, Right Honorable Speaker, offend our rules, and we should not leave them on record. This rule is otherwise known as the law against casting aspersion. Right Honorable Speaker, may I move that any reference or references made by the said minister that offend the rule be expunged from the record. I beg to move.
Now, honorable colleagues, you see, it's difficult for me when you stand up to know what you want to say. Okay? So, and Honorable Mao made a sign to me that he had indeed, should I say, apologized or what? But I think it needed to be on record because I was accused of colluding with offering aid, I think, yes, to Honorable Semuju to swallow him. To swallow him. No, Honorable colleagues, that's, I can never do that. I mentioned it clear that I can never do that. And the unfortunate bit is not here, he has moved. Usually, we want a colleague to come on the floor and maybe justify or withdraw, because that was a very, very serious statement. If I'm accused, now I give you space to speak, you go for each other, then I'm accused, I'm saying I'm aiding. But me, I'm supposed to pick members to speak. It's up to you to be cautious to ensure that what you say is within the confines of our rules of procedure. Now that he's not here, and those statements are disturbing, because you're questioning me as if I colluded with someone, finished someone here. It's very unfortunate. I think I will instruct the clerk under Rule 229 of our rules of procedure to review and look at only those aspects. Only those aspects. To expunge that aspect. But I mean, this is a straight matter where the Speaker 229, where the Speaker is of the opinion that the words that have been used in debate are defamatory, indecent, unparliamentary, or undignified. The Speaker shall order that such words be expunged from the official record of Parliament. I therefore want to take this opportunity to exercise my power and order that part is expunged. Thank you. The part, let me be specific. One, where the Speaker, the presiding officer, was accused of aiding. Number two, where the House was accused of being involved in a drama. No. Yeah, there is, and on both sides. If Honorable Semuju also put it on that side. Okay? Honorable Jonathan Odura has reminded me that we've ever done a drama here on several occasions. Let me stick to that one over choosing the Speaker. Let me stick to that one over choosing the Speaker. Okay? The rest are debatable. We check our conduct. Okay? Point of privilege? Honorable.
Yes, sir. Let me be very clear. Thank you. That I don't mind the banter between myself and the Honorable Ma. We normally do that, and I cannot take that to be personal. because that's, I normally do it to others, and I don't take offense when somebody does that. But then, the matter of privilege is that representation is a right and an obligation. For a minister to come here and does not answer directly the questions you have asked, and simply veers into banter, is a problem. And then it disappears. And when we rise on procedural matter to put him correctly to answer the questions, Mr. Speaker, undermines our role of representation. I want to be on record that Honorable did not answer anything. He simply veered into banter and disappeared, Honorable Speaker. And I'm not sure those who read the question they raised and his answers, how they rate him, and how we shall go back to our people that one of these questions answered will judge the Honorable Mao. So other than speaking in colloquial English, he answered nothing. So I don't know how you guide Honorable Speaker when our role is undermined and the member simply veers, fails to answer, and then takes first leave.
Thank you.
Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Now, I think Honorable Mao answered, but not to your satisfaction. I think that's what the record should capture. He answered, but not to your satisfaction. Okay? Number two, Honorable colleagues, it is difficult for me to say, no, Honorable Minister, the answer you've given is not satisfactory. So go and bring another good answer. But now, a minister, most of these issues, he's committing government. He needs to go back and consult. He might make commitments here which are not tenable. He reaches in the cabinet, they are not allowed. And then we hold him accountable here. Honorable Minister, you promised this. So like we said that he updates us next week. Let this continue. Let it be a continuous process.
For so long a time, he's been a victim. And if the next election in any way becomes botched by virtue of a wrongly assembled register, he will be both a culprit and an abettor of that fraud. So I am happy he's here to answer to these questions in earnest. I have a few issues for him, Honorable Speaker. One, what kind of register will finally come out of this process? Will it be biometric or manual? Aware of the trouble that we had in the last series of elections, courtesy of bearing different types of registers used concurrently at polling stations, and what that heralded in terms of transparency, especially in trying to curtail multiple voting. Two, Right Honourable Speaker, the Honourable Nsereko made allusion to part of the duty that the Honourable Mao owes this nation, namely to offer leadership on key reform issues that have been a subject of court variously, the Supreme Court, including particular and peculiar orders to be followed, including the correction of the nature of register. I want to be specific. The Honourable Mao is alive to the ruling in the Karali State University, the Attorney General, to which there was no appeal lodged by the Attorney General, that the continuation of disenfranchising Ugandans in the diaspora and prisoners is a serious violation of their right to exercise their civic rights. So are you going to abet this continuation of this violation? It was declared unconstitutional and a violation of their rights to vote. So as a Minister of Justice and as a former victim, if there is such a thing as a former victim of disenfranchisement, are you prepared to abet this illegality and violation of the Constitution? Lastly, second last, I am aware some months back, the Honourable Mao was very warm and enthusiastic about constitutional reforms and electoral reforms, and that with the Speaker will not extend my time. Kindly allow me to he has indicated that propensity not to extend my time. That Honourable Speaker, I'm aware the Honourable Marwan enthusiasm has since gone down because allegedly he had a very good document on reforms, electoral and constitutional, including the transition. And because of that last statement, some people broke into his office and saw everything, the document, the computers, and he has nothing now to work with. May we know that he's working on something fresh or he needs help to go back to his text that offered this country some glimmer of hope that would transition. Because the question I would have asked the Speaker, you're going to answer, and of course, I have a procedural matter I will reserve to the Right Honourable Speaker related to that matter. I thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. Honourable Minister. Under what rule?
Honourable Speaker, and that omission will lead to violation of the Constitution. And the activity of registration and update is a very serious activity which determines the democracy of this country, peace and security. I therefore, Honourable Speaker, in the statement of Honourable Mao,
no, state your
yes, I'm stating the procedure. The minister stated that he expects the Electoral Commission to perform duties and to be accountable. And therefore, Right Honourable Speaker, I'm seeking your guidance. That isn't it proper that this House moves a motion to direct the Electoral Commission to extend the days, to acquire the necessary equipment, to put the necessary document, to perform all the tasks that this House wants.
Thank you. Now, Honourable colleagues, just let me make it very easy for you that our rules of procedure cannot override the Constitution. Article 62 of the Constitution is very clear. Subject to the provisions of this Constitution, the Commission shall be independent and shall, in the performance of its functions, not be subject to the direction of or control of any person or authority. Now, how do you want us to go under rules to suppress the Constitution? So let's, Honourable, please, Honourable colleagues, we have moved very well with the Electoral Commission. The Minister is here. We have given him questions, so let him answer. Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank very pertinent issues. In general terms, the Electoral Commission or anybody that is said to be independent cannot hide behind the phrase of independence in order to avoid being accountable. That's a general principle which we should all accept. Secondly, if you can persuade, why should you direct? It's important that we also do not underrate our power of persuasion. In any case, the people are busy persuading the Electoral Commission on your behalf. The very people you represent are speaking for themselves to the Electoral Commission now. I propose that we give the Electoral Commission time. I do believe that they will do the right thing because elections are about the people. Concerning the workers, I have consulted with the Minister of Local Government, and I wish to inform this House that under Section 131, there will be an amendment so that the workers don't get excluded. I hope that assures the Honorable Katambuka that the workers will be included. On the question raised by the Honorable Karubanga Jacob Atenyi, basically it is about those who are considered to be stateless. Let me state here that the fact that your tribe is not in the Constitution doesn't mean that you cannot vote. Everybody feels that everything should be included in the Constitution. The Constitution is a supreme document. It doesn't need to have everything. The Ugandan Constitution is 10 times the size of the American Constitution. And I don't think the American Constitution has served the American people any worse than ours. Therefore, that conversation about everybody wanting to be in the schedule is another conversation. Let's separate it from the issue of voting. The right of the diaspora to vote is the policy of the government that the diaspora should vote. What we intend to do is now to translate that policy into law. But the policy is that our diaspora, who are daily being celebrated for their contribution to the government, should not be excluded. On the use of technology, I want to inform this House that I already took the bill to the cabinet. And the cabinet had some reservations and referred the bill to a committee which is chaired by the Honorable Chris Bariomunsi. So I hope on Monday he will report to cabinet. The use of technology is very important to deal with the question of ballot stuffing, where people who never showed up at a polling station vote. In this case, the record in the machine must tally with the ballot papers that are cast. We have even created an offense, a term of imprisonment for up to 5 years for any presiding officer under whose watch the votes cast don't tally with the votes that are recorded in the machine. We are even proposing, it is in the law, and in any case the law will come here after it has left cabinet, and you can improve it as you wish. We are even proposing body cameras so that whatever goes on at a polling station can be on record. Now, concerning the question of boundaries, this is under Section 120 onwards. These boundaries are the exclusive duty of the Electoral Commission, Mr. Speaker. On the question of whether the security officials are meddling, I think that's a matter that we can have to deal with, because for long we have insisted that the Electoral Commission must be in charge and must be seen to be in charge and not to be ousted by anybody or authority. Now, let me state the position of the law. A national ID is a prima facie evidence of citizenship. So no one can again start asking questions. If somebody is saying that the national ID was got fraudulently, that's another matter. But on account of disenfranchising somebody, you cannot start raising a lot of issues. The Honorable Ababiko talked about APA. I want to state here that this is a matter which remains contentious. But as far as I'm concerned, it is not a question of where APA is located. It is a matter of Ugandans having the right to vote. So we should not mix up the contentions of the people about where APA belongs, whose land it is, and so on, with the question of voting. I am not here to talk about the contentions about APA. I'm here to guarantee that anybody who feels like voting in APA can go and vote. In the same way that I can go and change my polling station to Kololo tomorrow. I can change my polling station to Masaka in the Honorable Mathias Mpuuga's polling station. And there is, provided I can prove that I have a banana plantation there, that will allow me to vote. In one election, I was registered in Omoro County because I have a garden there. The grounds on which you can change your polling station are in the law. So the question of the APA is a subject of a commission of inquiry, and I believe they will deal with it. I want to assure members that the Electoral Commission will speak for itself. Now, there are ways in which we can influence the work of the Electoral Commission. We have got the National Consultative Forum of Political Parties, which is chaired by the is from the National Unity Platform. I would request that that forum discusses some of these issues, because the players in this election are the political parties, and they don't really have to raise all the issues on the floor of Parliament. It is possible for them to sit and face the Electoral Commission, and if need be, they can even challenge any decision that would disenfranchise somebody in the court. I had to go to court in order to be put back on the voters register. On the question of the census, I think it is not really about the census. It is about who is qualified to vote. I want to state here, Mr. Speaker, that I was not counted in the last census. But I'm on the voters register and I'm going to vote. So we shouldn't really mix up the issue of the census, that somebody is using the census to raise issues. I don't think there is a census book where Ugandans who were 18 after the age of 20, after 2014, will be told that you will not be registered because you are not on the 2014 data. That is not the basis of registering voters. The basis of registering voters is the data captured by NIRA. And once NIRA has you on their database, then the Electoral Commission works with NIRA to put your name on the National Voters Register. And it really has nothing to do with whether you were counted or not. Finally, Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Odu has misled all of us here that there is likely to be a council which has 5 members. Obviously, he was quoting the law, but I don't think he is very well acquainted with it, because under Section 124, the law says that no council shall have less than 10 members. So now where do you get this fiction apart from a novel? If you are reading the Local Government Act and then you are quoting a novel,
Order.
Obviously, there will never be a council with 5 members because the law puts the minimum at 10.
Thank you. Honourable Minister will conclude.
The issues that have been raised by the Right Honourable Mathias Mpuuga are very important. And since his arrival on the national stage, seeking to become a national leader, obviously it is important that that the government is seen to be taking him seriously. But let me say that the Right Honourable Mpuuga has arrived, but these issues had arrived before him. These issues had already arrived, and we are definitely dealing with them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Procedural, Speaker. Procedure.
Honorable colleagues, please. Honorable colleagues, the Minister has informed us that, Honorable Minister, you've informed us that the Electoral Commission is going to update the country. Okay? I would implore you that after they've updated the country, it would be very important for you to come back, you update Parliament, so that we can add value